Welcome back, Assassins. You know what today is? Today we have to prepare for the upcoming week. Looking at the overall economical calendar, you can see that tomorrow, Monday, at 11 a.m. Eastern, we have New York Fed 3-year inflation expectation. So that's going to be very key before we move forward in the overall market. So we definitely want to tune in to see what that's going to be about, especially with rise in inflation. And we want to see what the Feds are going to basically say about how they're going to tackle the overall upcoming inflation in the future. On Tuesday, we have small business index. On Wednesday, very important CPI data. So that's going to be very important. That's right before market opens around 8:30. On Thursday, very important jobless numbers as well. And on Friday, we have import price index. So getting over towards the next agenda, we're going to talk about earnings. We are still in earnings season. We're starting to fade off from the well-known companies that we know and love, but we still have some names that you may want to watch. And never be surprised if you see an unknown name take off. So we have Monday, we have Palantir. That's pretty much the main name I know. Upstart and maybe even Clover, but I don't really trade those names. Tuesday, we have Norwegian, Spirit, pre-market, and then after hours, we even have Cisco. And then after hours, we have Coinbase, which is going to be a nice one. Coinbase has been a nice mover lately. We'll take a look at that later. Roblox, Wish, and then on Wednesday, we have Wendy's. We have really, these are not really big name companies, maybe Disney. We have Disney after hours on Wednesday. That's probably one of the biggest names I see so far. On Thursday, no real big names that I trade over here. But take a look at this. Maybe you guys see some stocks that you guys are interested in. But earnings always brings a nice volatility to the stock, maybe to the upside or downside. So that's how you basically want to take a look at this and see what stocks you guys may be interested in. But going forward, we're looking at the SPY over here on the 1-year chart, right? Why are we on the 1-year chart? So we're over here trying to see the overall direction of the overall stock, right? So the larger the charts that you use, whether it be the 180-day, 4-hour, or the 1-year, 1 day, this is the main purpose. We're trying to see the overall direction. And going forward, we have basically had this type of double bottom around this 373 price point, and we've been on a current uptrend holding above this EMA line over here, confirming that bullish trend. So we are still bullish, even though we had a nice little pullback on Friday. I think we had a little pullback on Thursday, but we're still basically going sideways around this 410 range. And you can see that 418 has been a previous resistance level back in June and May. You can see we basically did the same thing back here before we had a pullback. Now, this is starting to look like a possible double top pattern where a stock is pushing up, struggling to break a resistance. It pulls back down, finds some type of support, breaks out, right? It does that gap fill, and now we're at a previous resistance level. One or two things may happen over here. This level may be strong resistance again, and then we basically pull down. And we may want to watch, especially this upcoming week, for a break below 406. That's going to be the break of the trade line, and then we could start basically pulling back down towards 390. Looking at the RSI over here, we're a little bit more on the overbought side, meaning, hey, possibility for upside is starting to basically slow down. As long as we stay up here in this overbought section, we can continue to go up. That's why we always use more than one thing to help us confirm our overall prediction, right? So we're looking at that overbought RSI. Next thing we need for a confirmation of a bearish trend is going to be the break of the EMA, which is going to be around 406. If we do hold above that EMA, then I'm going to hold my bullish stance and I'm going to look for basically a break of that 418. And once we break 418, it's possible that we could start pushing up towards that 429 on the overall SPY. So definitely some key levels, especially this week. We have CPI and we have the 3-year inflation prediction coming out this week. These are going to be very key information that we need to help persuade the market in either our direction. So we're not going to really get any Powell speaking. Typically when Powell speaks, we do get massive moves, but we're not going to hear from him maybe for a month or two. So definitely want to pay attention to the side notes that's basically happening, like the inflation data and then the CPI, to overall get direction for the market and bring some excitement to the overall market. So now that's SPY. Next one we're going to jump into is Tesla. So Tesla's going to have that 3-to-1 stock split. That is going to be on August 25th. So typically in the past, we've seen a lot of run up going into that stock split. Right now, we're basically getting a pullback. Tesla was extremely overbought on the 1 year. We are right above that SMA, and we're starting to pull back. One or two things may happen over here where if we stay below that trade line, we may get some type of pullback from 833, maybe even down towards that 742, especially if the MACD crosses down and we're overbought and we're holding below the trade line. That's key telltale signs for a possible pullback. If we start to hold this level, remember that 20-day is oversold, so we could possibly bounce, right? So whenever you see that oversold, the 20-day is going to move before that 1 year. So we are oversold right now. So meaning, hey, like I said in the last video, watch for that 876 break. Then we could start basically pushing up towards 890, maybe even up towards those 840s. If we struggle to get back up to 840 or even break 840, it's going to create a dead cat bounce, meaning, hey, we had this previous high, we dropped. Investors are trying to get it back towards that previous high, but failed. And then we'll make a bigger low. And we could start basically do one of these. Basically, we go up and come back down, kind of like a roller coaster, right? So want to watch out to see if that happens on Tesla. Few opportunities on that one. Next one we want to talk about is Amazon. Amazon has been pushing up. Look at the strong push up after earnings, found some type of support, push back up. Now we're consolidating again, right? We hit a high of 143. Amazon is not very overbought right now. So that's very key, especially on the 20-day. Let's check the 180-day and see what Amazon looks like, right? So we're looking at Amazon. Amazon's a little bit more overbought on the 180-day. So what we need to watch is what is the MACD position? MACD position is crossed down. So that means, hey, we may get a possible pullback, especially if we start to hold below that EMA line. So watch for a break of 139. Then we could start pulling back down towards 133. Or if we want to look for a bounce, right? Right now, the 180 days cross down, 20 days cross down. Anything could change. You always want to keep open-minded when you're going into the stock market. So watch for the break of 141, the break of the EMA up towards that 143. And then if we break 143, we have to go back towards the 180-day, since that 143 is the 20-day high. Once we break 143, we could start getting into this zone where we could start basically pushing up towards 150. Next one we're going to look at is Apple. Apple has been on an absolute bull run. You can see after Apple had basically earnings on July 28th, it's been pushing up, especially with the dividend and everything like that. So Apple is on a tear right now. So Apple right now, if we're looking at the 180-day RSI, we're a little bit more on the overbought side. Right now, the MACD is crossed down, but we are not showing signs of a pullback right now. Why is that? We're holding above the EMA. When we're above it, that means we're bullish. When we're below it, we're bearish. So definitely want to watch to see if we continue to hold above this EMA and start to push up. We put an intermediate resistance at 167 over here. So we definitely want to watch to see what's going to happen over here to see if we break that 167 and start pushing up towards 170. Or you can see we even wicked 170 before. We had some problems over here at 170 before as well. I think close to March, right? So we definitely want to watch to see what's going to happen if we're going to continue this bull run. But Apple has been on a bull run. Let's drop down towards the 20-day over here. Looking at the 20-day MACD is crossed down, right? RSI is basically in the middle. But we want to pay attention to see if Apple's going to break that 167. You can see we've been going sideways. Or if we start to break to the downside, you want to see it break and hold below the EMA around 164. And we could possibly start going to 162. See, we bounced off of 162 before. If we break that, then we could possibly even go towards the 20-day SMA at 159. But if we break that 167, no doubt in my mind, we start going towards that 170 zone. Next one we're going to talk about is Coinbase. So Coinbase, it has earnings coming up. Coinbase has been on an absolute basically bull run lately. You can see Coinbase, their last earnings caused them to drop, especially with the drop of basically crypto and all that stuff with inflation. A lot of people pulling their money back, pulling their money out. But it looks like Coinbase is finding some base over here or some ground, or you can see it kind of went sideways. And this is exactly what you want to see when you want to see a gap up, right? The stock was trading at a previous high, it drops, found a common resistance, you buy it at that break of the resistance in hopes of it going out upwards. So definitely want to watch to see what's going to happen over here. Coinbase has earnings on the 9th. So that is going to be a key day that you want to see. Hey, if you're a Coinbase follower, are we going to basically break and hold and start pushing up? So we have some resistance right here. If you check this line out over here, we basically topped out right around like that $100 level. So we want to see if we break that $100 level and start going up higher, maybe even towards 115. You can see we even wicked up towards 115 before. So right now, this is perfectly a nice bullish pattern. What you're seeing, we're holding above that EMA. Even though it pushes up, it pulls back down, holds that EMA as support. That is exactly what you want to see. And now we're basically pushing up. So watch for that $100 break, and we can start going to 115. If we start basically breaking $88, we could start basically dropping down towards 84 and maybe lower. We're extremely overbought right now. I would love to see a possible pullback, right, towards that EMA, and then we could possibly buy from there depending on what the charts look like. That's going to be it for today. If you guys are looking forward to any stocks this week, put it in the comments below. I'm doing another video tomorrow morning, a fresh video with a new insight. Everything's going to change what we're seeing right now in the morning. But if you guys leave a comment below what stock you're watching for the weekend, maybe I'll throw it into the watch list and you get to watch the video pre-market on my expectation on what that stock may do. So definitely, hopefully you guys learned something. Leave a comment below on what stock you're watching. Leave a like for the YouTube algorithm. For the YouTube algorithm. Sorry, I can't speak today. And that's going to be it. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.